What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the millionth E3 predictions and hype video. It's the first time I've ever done something like this, and I've mentioned before that I want to have some videos where I can just freely talk with you guys, and genuinely, one of my favorite times of the year is upon us. I adore E3. Now, I know my channel typically covers a lot of retro stuff, but in real life, E3 makes me giddy like a little schoolgirl. Alright, I love everything about E3. Even if the presentations are crap, I'm just happy to be there and watch it, because I like knowing where these companies are going in the near future. And actually, by the time you're watching this, EA has probably already gone, and I don't really care about EA, but I want to just take a little bit of time now, since we are so close, everyone has their predictions. I want to just quickly talk about some stuff that I'm hyped for, and some of my wish list stuff for E3. And I want to quickly address that when people are going to toss out comments that say, oh, you shouldn't have really gotten any hyped whenever something is disappointing. I want to say I think that's crap. You have everything in your right to be hyped. This is the time of the year where we expect to be surprised by everybody. And if anybody lets you down, it's not, oh, you shouldn't have gotten excited. No, it's on them. We should get excited, because this is the time of the year where it's basically our jobs to just be excited, and that's it. So I've written down a list of stuff that I'm expecting. I'm actually going to be watching every conference, which, I mean, that covers Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, of course, but also Bethesda has one. I would have watched EA by the time this goes up. Ubisoft. I watch all of them, and I will be having videos covering the big three. And even though I wrote down the other ones, I can't even say, honestly, I'm not even expecting much from the other guys. Maybe a sequel to Doom. That'd be awesome. Let's move on to the big three. So in reality, when it comes to both Microsoft and Sony, I don't have a ton of predictions, because they're always typically the most unpredictable. When Nintendo comes around, there's always a million ideas that could potentially go on, and especially now, where every year Nintendo does something different. Microsoft and Sony stick to a formula that kind of works and kind of doesn't. There's pros and cons to what they do, but Microsoft is going to be interesting, because we're going to see Scorpio. Aside from that, I have no expectations whatsoever. I can't even fathom what they're going to show. They're treating it as a new console. How far they'll go with that, I don't know. Typically, Microsoft stuff doesn't appeal to me a whole lot. I've never owned an Xbox console. Mostly because the IPs that they have don't interest me. And I think that's rubbing off on them now, because Xbox One is not doing all too hot. So hopefully Scorpio can change things. That's all I have for them. And then when it comes to Sony, Sony always has this big, grand press conference, and they've always had the best press conference in the last couple of years. Just in terms of, again, the scope that they set everything on, and it's a marvel to watch. But I think Sony is in a bit of a pickle this year, because while last year was amazing, a lot of the games they showed off aren't out yet. So it's gonna be hard to recapture that magic of a bunch of new games, unless they just continue to announce games that we won't see for another 2 years, and then the games that showed off last year we see again. So we're gonna see God of War again, we're gonna see Days Gone, the Uncharted game, maybe Crash Bandicoot stuff, Spider-Man again. It's all stuff we've kind of seen before. If they can pull out surprises, awesome, but it's at a point now where, besides Sucker Punch, the guys who worked on Sly Cooper and Infamous, we don't know what they're working on. That's all I got. But apparently, we're gonna see some Crash Bandicoot new stuff. I don't know what that could be. If we get a remastering of Crash Team Racing, or if we get a remastered trilogy of Spyro the Dragon. While I am not recording live reactions, I can promise you, 110% certainty, I will be screaming and crying no matter where I'm at. Guaranteed! And now, let's not even kid ourselves here, the stuff that we're all kind of interested in, because speculation is always the most interesting, with Nintendo. I wanted to kind of wait until the last minute to talk about Nintendo, and it's kind of for the best, because Apparently now their spotlight is only going to be 25 minutes. While that's definitely disappointing, because obviously a long event is better regardless of announcements, I'm not necessarily worried about the content, and while that definitely comes off as fanboyish, I'll explain why. Recently, they've made sure to get out of the way a lot of details, so I don't think we're going to see any ARMS, I don't think we're going to see any Splatoon 2, I don't think we're going to see anything Pokemon related whatsoever. I don't even think we're going to see Virtual Console stuff because they've already hinted at that via Twitter. And then they'll probably save a lot of that stuff just for the Treehouse events. When you consider that, and maybe if they go with the rapid fire announcement stuff that they've been doing, what they did with the last big Nintendo Direct, it's very possible that in 25 minutes, they could still really impress us. It's just a matter of what they fill it up with, because you can already assume Mario Odyssey is going to get the most time. We're going to see Fire Emblem Warriors, Xenoblade 2, maybe Breath of the Wild DLC, but I feel like they'll save that for Treehouse. And even when it comes to just that, it's like, what, I guess the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle game, that'll finally get announced. Whoop-de-friggin' do. I can't even lie, it actually could be pretty good. There's a lot of room still to show off some really cool stuff. They've been keeping a lot of games close to their chest, and even when it comes to 3DS, that stuff is all gonna be Treehouse. And there's already the new Kirby game. There's a remake of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Who knows what else? Maybe they can pump out a WarioWare game. That'd be awesome. But in terms of just the big spotlight, I mean, the obvious one is Metroid, right? I mean, Metroid is the one that everyone's clamoring for now, that if they don't announce Metroid, I feel like they're gonna get a big backlash from that. And I think it's exciting to realize that in a couple of days we could finally be seeing a new Metroid game. Whether it be in 2D or 3D, in all honesty, I don't care. I don't think it's going to be Retro Studios, but I think we're getting a new Metroid game. But that's, in terms of surprises, I feel like that's the most given. Aside from that, though, Animal Crossing Switch, please. I realized how awesome the Switch is when I started a Mario Kart 8 Cup on a plane, finished it 2 days later on my TV. That was when I realized, okay, the Switch is something magical. And then realizing the effect that Animal Crossing has, that's gonna ruin my life and the life of a lot of other people, and I cannot wait. Obviously, with the mobile game coming out sometime this year, the timing just makes sense. Animal Crossing for the Switch. And now, in terms of completely out of left field announcements, I think Diddy Kong Racing is potential. Diddy Kong is still not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I find that a bit suspicious. There have been rumors about Diddy Kong Racing also circulating for a while, so fingers crossed there. And also, you want to go even further left field and that you can't even see where the person is in left field. There have been rumors for years that Star Tropics is being done by Retro Studios. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know I'm always that guy saying, oh, this is going to be the day where they announce Star Tropics. If that day ever comes, for the love of all that is holy, there's a new Bubsy game, okay? I'm allowed to want Star Tropics. Please! Honestly, that's really all I want to talk about in terms of my pre-E3 hype. A lot of stuff has already been run into the ground by a lot of people, and I know you have all, if you are interested in this topic at all already, you've already been watching a ton of speculation videos. Most of my speculation is just wanting to have a good time watching these guys announce video games. That's it. And whether or not they do that is obviously we have to wait and see. It's coming very, very soon. We have, was it 5 major conferences? Bethesda, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Sony, then Nintendo. I guess Devolver Digital has a conference as well, whatever that's gonna be about. And then also the PC show, whatever that is. I always keep my speculation, I like to think, pretty standard. I just want to see games that I want to play. And even when it comes to something like Sony talking about God of War, which I don't really care about, it was a really awesome showcase. I just want everybody to succeed. If Microsoft can do that, that's awesome. Sony's probably gonna do that. Just show Spyro the Dragon and... Sorry, Nintendo, but they probably win. Actually, no. Oh, good. We could potentially see Spyro the Dragon, Metroid, and Animal Crossing at this E3. It's gonna be a good week, everybody. But yeah, I want to keep this nice and short, relatively short, as opposed to like hour-long discussions. Let me know in the description what you're excited for, if anything. Even if you have some insane out-of-left-field and desires for your wish list, let me know as well. Because more excitement, I'm all for. I'm not of that camp of, oh, don't get excited. Get excited. If you still get disappointed, that's on you. But yeah, that's all I have. Stay tuned to the channel as I will be talking about Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo after they're all wrapped up. And yeah, thank you for watching my very first ever pre-E3 video. Enjoy E3, follow me on Twitter for very, very snarky comments throughout the entire thing, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.